Hello, good morning. We are live from Automation Star, and I'm here with Lalit.
Hi.
And I just practiced his surname, and I'm going to try it again, but now it's on air, so I'll probably do it wrong. Bhamare?
Yeah, you won
Hey.
the five stuff. Very cool.
Yeah. So we are going to have a fun talk. It's the second day of the conference, so we've already had day one where you had your deep dive.
hmm
How did it go?
it went well, though it was the last session of the day.
Yeah.
I was quite positively surprised with the energy and enthusiasm that people had. That kept me very motivated, and it was well received and very well engaged with questions and conversations. So I had a good time.
Good. And what was it about?
So it was about testability, in principle, taking automation beyond regression. I have been in testing and automation space from around 18 years now, and whenever I look at what progress we have made, I just keep seeing new and newer tools with new features, which are cute and nice to have, but not really breakthrough innovation or something that will help testers beyond automating their regression checks or typical checks for that matter. And I told myself if I complain, I could also be the part of the solution,
Yeah.
which is how this idea of this workshop was born. I did a full day workshop last year at Automation Star. It got a very good response. We were this close to winning the Best Tutorial Award,
Yeah.
but then
You lost against another really good one.
yeah, exactly. That's a definitely good one. So this year we decided to do a deep dive. And so in our workshop, we discussed about what are different things that testers can do through automation, and particularly keeping testability in mind. It still surprises me that testability is still very less talked and less discussed topic in organizations.
Yeah.
They come to know of it mostly when things are gone completely haywire,
Yeah.
and it's too late to think about it because testability is not something you do as a retrofitting all the time. Observability can help you, but why to wait for disaster to happen if you can always prevent things? So we discuss lots of ideas around what testability really means, how it is not just about the product but also about the people and also the project environment that we work in, and how testers can leverage on that understanding and knowledge to be more effective, more influential, particularly in the times when the traditional testing activities are easily lifted up and done by AI at scale. So yeah, that was fun. That was fun. We had quite interesting conversations. I showed them the testability scorer uh, through automation that we created with the help of Playwright framework and AI, and that was good starting point for them to basically understand how they can tweak it, how they can modify it for their own project context, and take their automation understanding beyond just writing typical checks.
Yeah. And those are things that I always hope that those new and fancy tools that promise the world fix stuff like that, but they never seem to tackle it well.
I keep asking, I keep wondering,
Yeah.
guys, where is the innovation?
Yeah.
Newest and coolest thing I saw was maybe self-healing and self-driving automation, this and that. Right? It's cute, but it's not innovative enough in my opinion. I think our industry is too obsessed with simply about automating regression and automating checks, but uh, automation in itself can be very powerful, very useful if we educate testers to think beyond simply automating that test. There are lots of activities they could automate. There are lots of things and information they can gather through automation, which they traditionally, as a human, cannot necessarily penetrate and deep dive in.
Yeah.
So it's high time, particularly now we have technologies and AI based applications in place which can facilitate this entire information gathering, experimentation, penetrating in areas which we can't typically go in. It's really an exciting time for testers if they know how to have fun.
It is, yeah, and having fun is also a topic that I spoke about, I think, yesterday with one of the other speakers.
Uh huh.
And where's the biggest fun for you in testing?
Um, I find it very interesting the pleasure behind finding things out.
Yeah.
It's something that keeps me very excited about testing. I came across Richard Feynman's writing, I think a decade ago, where he explained the pleasure behind finding things out,
Yeah.
and that was kind of a validating moment for me as a tester. And I decided I'm gonna stick here
Yeah.
for my entire career. Maybe, I don't know, but yes, I love finding things out, and that's what makes testing fun for me.
Great. Yeah. You light up when you talk about it. It's very fun to see.
Yes.
Yeah. So, how do you deal with the stuff that you haven't found out yet?
Well, I keep trying, and recently I have been experimenting a lot and exploring a lot on the critical thinking aspects of testing, truth finding aspect that brought me closer to some spiritual topics like Nyaya philosophy, Nyaya school of thought, which is basically an ancient Indian school of thought dealing with modern epistemology, so to speak. And that gave me lots of ideas about how we are under illusion of different things,
Yeah.
how we make mistakes in our perceptions,
Yes.
how faulty equipments that we use and tools that we use, be it actual physical tool or mental tool. There are lots of ways, possibilities where we can get things wrong. And when we operate on wrong input and information, we are only
Yeah.
creating devastating output, so to speak. So I'm digging deeper on this topic, and it helps me understand how to eliminate that ignorance and how to get closer to the truth.
Yeah.
And that in turn also helps me look at AI applications in a different way, because the mistakes that we are likely to make as humans, I believe the applications are also
100%.
likely to make those too. So
Yeah.
knowing yourself, knowing your own intelligence as a human, helps you understand artificial intelligence better,
Yeah.
and that's how you make a difference.
I like how you described perception, and I believe that our perception is fundamentally flawed. But as
Yes,
a tester, I struggle with it because sometimes, like, I have observed this result. Can I trust it?
that's
And then I
exactly
try
the
to prove if
question.
I can trust it. Hmm.
Yes, have being self-critical and trying until you are fully convinced
Yeah.
that what you are seeing is actually the truth. That's definitely, and that's exactly what makes things fun as well.
Yeah. And it's I usually find that my perception of where failures could happen um, is not great. I'm great at finding bugs, but predicting where in the process something
Mm-hmm.
will fail.
Mm-hmm.
How how do you
I
challenge
got a
that?
lot of insights about it when I read about reasoning behind errors, and or like a theory behind errors in Nyaya itself. So there are lots of ways we could get things wrong. There are valid means of acquiring knowledge and also invalid means. Sometimes our past memory can mess things up. Sometimes the things that we are using as an equipment to perceive it could be faulty. So being aware of how things can go wrong gives you that awareness about being conscious there.
Yes.
If you are to rely on someone's testimony, you also need to understand that this person or this oracle could be wrong.
Yeah.
So you need to find your own way to understand. But I developed a heuristic which I call trick heuristic. It's based on the logical syllogism from Naya School of Thought.
Hmm.
It's a 5 element syllogism as compared to or in opposed to Aristotle's syllogism.
Yeah.
So having these 5 elements gives you an extra leverage on being more critical about things. So you question your assumptions, you question your observations, you try to arrive at a conclusion, and that's how you basically use logical reasoning
Yeah.
to arrive at a conclusion. The more you practice it, the more you engage with it also with your colleagues as a team, the probability of finding truth is higher
Yes.
than simply believing your acceptance criteria and going about automating it.
Yeah. I like to use the Socrates method to
Hmm.
ask questions to understand.
Precisely.
but it's that's kind of difficult to do with a computer or system.
You can do
But
it.
I
Yes.
use it to find out why it's giving me that output.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
When particularly now we have conversational agents and AI applications,
Yes.
I particularly find it very useful to use the Socratic method in the combination of trick heuristic,
Yeah.
where you keep questioning back whatever you are thrown with. And I also noticed there was apparently a research paper as well, where the output and kind of accuracy of response coming from the LLMs was also improving when it was forced to question back instead of blindly accepting
Yeah.
the first answer you get.
Yeah.
So I think it's fun.
Yeah, yeah. When I interact with an LLM or Gen AI, I do tend to ask, "Show your sources. Tell me why you told me that." And ask that a couple of times, even though it hurts my heart to see the tokens go away when I repeat the question. But yeah,
Indeed, indeed, that certainly helps. That has been my experience too.
yeah. Um, Say you are a tester that is looking to get into this thought process. How would you start?
Thought process,
The,
thoughts process.
yes.
That's a very deep question. I mean, if I'm new to testing and if I want somebody to get into this thought process, I would ask them to really get serious about critical thinking. And particularly now, it is so tempting and so convenient to outsource your thinking.
Yes.
I would recommend them not to do that. So, if there is something that you want an answer for, try to find it out yourself first. Sure, you can take help from AI and whatever tech is there at your disposal, but do not trust it blindly.
Yeah.
See everything, try everything, but question everything at the same time. And every decision has to be a conscious choice, not something that you are letting an AI application decide on your behalf by default.
Yeah.
So practice critical thinking, practice art of asking questions, be critical of your own inferences and conclusions. And I think that's the good way to start.
Yeah.
I usually give this example in my workshops. So I ask people about, hey, I'm giving you 100 euros, and I would like you to buy the best T-shirt for yourself. Tell me, walk me through the process, how you go about it. So they typically tell me I'm going to buy it from this and this shop, this store. It has very good brands, good discounts, and till they make their final purchase, they're very critical of every aspect, every um, qualification criteria that matters to them.
Yeah.
And then I ask them, okay, so when you are at work and you're testing the application, are you also considering all of these things as if you are the one who is paying for it and being the end consumer?
Yeah.
So this role play usually helps people to understand that, oh, like my standards of quality are biased when I'm the consumer myself
Yeah.
and when I'm on the other side of story.
Yeah.
So I think bridging this gap is very important, having that empathy for the end user and understanding that we could do things with equal curiosity and research and due diligence also in our work. I think that makes a big difference.
Yes. Yeah, being able to name your biases and perspectives is worth gold.
True.
And that's sometimes how I challenge people to start thinking differently by taking a different perspective.
Hmm.
Take an opposing view of the opinion you have, or assume that it's wrong. Show me why it's wrong.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
or assume that it's right. Why?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Asking why is very important. And I believe our testing industry, if there is one thing I still complain about is testers don't ask enough questions.
Yeah.
A lot of things could have been different today if we would make it mandatory for
Yeah.
testers to ask questions and meaningful questions. But
Yeah. I like the
well,
5 whys.
yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
just try to dive in. Like,
Yes,
why is
yes.
that? Yeah. Yeah, and usually when you ask someone why, they get a bit, why do you want to know? And then they give an answer, and then you ask why again. And I find that sometimes, especially here in the Netherlands, we are pretty direct. But
Yeah.
people are like, Don't you believe me?
Yeah, that's a good point, which reminds me of an interesting thing I learned from Michael Bolton in my conversation. He introduced me to the idea of interactional expertise,
Yes.
which I believe originally comes from Harry Collins.
Yes.
So, one of the most important skill for testers, I would say, is interactional expertise.
Yeah.
You need to know how to talk to different people about same topic. So if you're talking to a person who kind of takes an offense, maybe you need to change your way of communicating with them without affecting the outcome or the goal of your conversation.
Yeah.
If you're having the same conversation with CEO, you need to talk about the topic in different information, different choice of words, and the same discussion can happen with a junior person in your team with a different choice of words. So it's ultimately about communication, be it with humans, be it with AI. If you can't communicate well, you can't be great at testing.
Yeah. That's the truth. Yeah, and it's also you're so often the bearer of bad news, or bad quality, or the fact that you weren't able to establish any form of quality. And there's so much worth in being able to say that in a clear and concise way that leaves the bond that you have with someone intact, but to be very real on the actual message. Like, this is not great. We are okay, but this is not great.
That's true. This is
Yeah.
this is what we get paid for. This is our job, and I think we need to stick to the truth of our profession and be authentic with it. The
Yes.
more authentic we are, the more credibility we would get. And I believe once you establish that credibility in your team with your work, people tend to listen to you and
Yeah.
they know they benefit from your inputs.
Yeah, and then you need to still be aware of your perceptions, your biases.
Absolutely.
Communicate about that. Yeah. So I personally find that knowing my biases and my perspectives, sometimes I'm very sure I'm right, but then I am wrong. How do you deal with that? Finding out that you are wrong.
It's okay to be wrong.
Yeah.
It whatever things that you are probably not good at, it only makes you human. It doesn't make you bad human.
Yes.
But what is maybe not acceptable is not trying. This anthem, I think, comes from my school when I was studying in India. In Sanskrit, it says, "Varam apayasho natu lagu dheyam." It means failure is not a crime, but having low M is.
Yes. I
So
love
keep
that.
keep pushing yourself, keep trying
Yeah.
hard. It's okay to fail, but
Yeah.
not giving up is the key. It's perfectly fine to not know things. Just don't accept whatever you feel is not good, and keep trying for improving.
It's better to fail and learn than to not fail.
Absolutely.
Yes. Wow, wonderful.
A pleasure.
We touched on really big topics here.
Indeed.
Oh my god. I think philosophy.
Well, I mean, if you're a great tester, I believe it's my experience.
Yes.
Being great at testing also makes you great at understanding and appreciating life and see it
For
in
sure.
different way. It makes you more comfortable with truth, even if it is difficult.
Yeah.
I think that's the way to crack the code of life.
Yeah, wonderful. Lalit, thank you so much. I had a wonderful time with you.
Likewise, I enjoyed having a
Yeah,
conversation with
and I
you.
hope you have a nice rest of the conference.
Same to you. Thank
There
you.
are some great talks still happening, and there are also great talks still happening here. I think the next interview is with the program chair of this year's Automation Star. So stay tuned, and
Thank you
thank
all.
you for watching.
Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.